Hi, welcome to today's Talk of the Town. I'm Sandy Benson. Here with some exciting news of what will be performed next at the Main Street Theater. Nashville singer-songwriter Sarah Catherine Wheatley and WHHI-TV Land Entertainers Award winner Misty Row. Welcome to the show. So excited.
Thank you.
So what do we have to look forward to?
Well, you have two performers who have done the show many, many times. I know Sarah Catherine has, and I first started doing the part of Louise in 1996. But I've had a 5-year break, and I thought it was time that I'd be redirected in the part. But great music, and it is a story about a real person named Louise Seger, who I knew. And she was a huge Patsy Cline fan. She had been a beauty queen, and then she ran a modeling agency, got married, divorced with 2 kids, ended up in a trailer park and listened to Patsy Cline music, and then met Patsy Cline one night of her life.
So the name of the actual performance is always Patsy Cline.
Because she met Patsy Cline one night of her life, and she tells the story. It turns into this great concert with a great singer singing it. And then Patsy, in actual life, wrote Louise Seger until her death and always signed the letters, "Love always, Patsy Cline."
Isn't that something? I never knew that story. I think that's a fabulous story. So is the show set up more like a concert, or does it have actually a storyline?
It has a definite storyline, and
Right.
It's funny, it's tender, it has a great concert atmosphere, and then it has very, very poignant moments of these two women becoming friends and sharing their stories.
That's wonderful. So what have you discovered about these characters after performing the roles so many times?
Well, having known Louise Seger, who when I first met her, she didn't like the wig I had on, and she left during intermission and said, "I wouldn't wear that wig to an outhouse." So I had to get a different wig, and she came back and she told me about the friendship she had with Patsy Cline.
Right.
And it was very important how I read that actual letter from her. And so they're poignant moments, funny moments, and of course, you have to hear this lady sing.
So Sarah Catherine, what is it like to portray someone as iconic as Patsy Cline?
Well, I have to tell you that it is really an honor. Every time I do the show, I feel really lucky to have the chance to be able to sing all these incredible songs that everyone knows so well. And I'm always shocked at the connection that people have with her music and with her. Everyone has a Patsy Cline story. They grew up listening to it. They were alive when she was alive, or their grandparents introduced them. I mean, young and old, all the same. So I get there's a lot of joy in the show, and I feel like the relationship between Louise and Patsy is a very joyful one. So I get excited every time I do it.
What's your favorite Patsy Cline song?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Do you not have? Or do
I mean,
you have
I love
one?
all of them so much. I think my favorite song to sing is Faded Love. It's at the end of the show, and it's one of my favorites. Of course, Crazy is always a crowd pleaser, and
And what about Sweet Dreams?
Sweet Dreams. They're just they're
And
they're
I
endless.
all the pieces.
Really, so many. It's hard to pick.
Yes.
So obviously, those are some of the Patsy Cline songs we can expect to hear. And so, what aspects of this production in particular can audiences look forward to?
I'd say me leading the band, which is kind of unusual. Louise is a person who thinks she's rather elegant, but sort of turns into Lucille Ball from time to time with a Texas accent. So, and we have a lot of audience participation.
Yes.
Which we just love the crowd to clap and sing and
Well,
dance.
I think with the songs and them being familiar with the songs, it's so easy for them to interact with you up on stage.
Totally.
So I think that makes for a lot more of an exciting performance as well.
And the band is up on stage with us, so it feels
how
like there
fun.
are moments where it feels like you are at a honky tonk or a concert, and it's great fun.
And we really do. Ben, our director, he takes us back to 1961 when they met. So that nostalgia feeling.
Right. So always Patsy Cline at the Main Street Theater will have all the information on the screen as to what time the performances are. And thank you both for joining us
thank you.
today.
Thank you so much.
Come see us.
We will. And we'll be right back with Talk of the Town.